I think I need a redo. I can do it. Alright, this is a strategical redo. There's a, like, side attack that I just did there that I shouldn't be doing now on mask. That's not strategic. This is the all-natural retry. This is the grass-fed, free-range retire. Do you get less retries in master mode? I didn't know that. I shouldn't have done the strategic retry. Good morning. Welcome to the Ryan Beardy livestream. Today is Saturday morning, October 2nd. I got a little bit of a late start today because I woke up with no internet connection. And, you know, my soul was leaving my body because I didn't have a proper connection to the rest of the world. That seemed to have sorted itself out, so hopefully this stream will go fine. Today we're going to go over the gaming news for the week. What's up, Chuck? Good morning. We're going to do the gaming news. I'm going to talk a little bit again about my latest YouTube video and plans for future videos. And then we're going to go into more F-Zero GX. So I'll start with YouTube because it's quick. I did a little bit of it yesterday. I put out a video about 2 weeks ago about the PSP version of the original Final Fantasy game. And becoming a little bit more relevant than ever because of the pixel remasters and Final Fantasy Origins Paradise. It's a name that I gotta remember. Final Fantasy Origins Stranger of Paradise. That's gonna be one of the topics in the gaming news because I actually got to play a little bit of it, of the demo yesterday. And I played a bit of the previous demo too, but I don't remember too much between the two. But this is a video I put a lot of hours into, both writing the script, doing the editing, so I'm really proud of how it turned out. If you want to check it out, links will be here to the channel, to the video, and they'll be in the description when this live stream goes to YouTube. So check it out if you haven't already. I like how it turned out. After that, I'm going to be doing Returnal. I haven't made a whole lot of progress on it, but I do still want to make the video. I like the bones of the script that I have, so... And plus I really enjoyed that game too, so I want to give it some spotlight and talk about it. Other than that... Under the Sun in my Discord didn't know that I had a second channel. So that while that's listed as Stream Archive, I should probably update the name. This is where I'm uploading all of my live streams after they go live, so you'll see them on Ryan Beardy 2. So enough self-promotion for the day. We can work on the gaming news. So Chuck, you posted specifically the Leonardo. So we talked a little bit about... Let's swap over also. Get you a bigger picture. So... We talked on and off about All-Stars, because the last big thing to talk about was the gameplay breakdown. Because I was really curious, given Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl's, like, team that's working on it. Ludosity, right? Mostly just for the YouTube channel. Right, that's where I was going to go with it. So, like, we don't have to kind of scrutinize... What is this channel? Is this, like, an official... We're Game Mill Entertainment, the publisher behind games like... Okay, so this is going to be the official... I noticed, like, other trailers for stuff. And the other one's Ludosity, right? Because Ludosity is the one that I was familiar with. They worked on Slap City. So they worked on Slap City. Long story short, I'm really interested in the mechanics of Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. And this game is coming out next week. I think it's October 5th. Come on, give me like an easy... I was hoping to not have to type in everything, but it's cool. October 5th. So it comes out really soon. It comes out in 3 days. So we're approaching the release date. I'm going to buy it on release and try it out because I'm really interested in it. And again, the other big thing is that they do want to support this game both like with updates and with tournaments. I don't know if they specifically said with updates, but more so like they want to make sure the game is balanced and like a competitively viable experience. And while I haven't spent a lot of time doing Slap City, I know that, you know, for the small team that worked on it, they did well. So since then, they've been uploading a lot of... I wonder if I can find just... Yeah, here's just a playlist. So they've been revealing characters ever since there's the announcement trailer, character reveal trailer. So through August until now, they've been doing a lot of character reveals. So I think the initial roster is complete. Maybe I can find like a complete roster. So Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl character list. Aang from Avatar, April O'Neil from TMNT, Cat Dog, Danny Phantom, Helga, Korra. So Aang and Korra were the last two to be given video trailers for. Lincoln Loud, Lucy Loud, Michelangelo, Nigel Thornberry, Oblina. I've never watched Real Monsters. That's an old one, isn't it? Definitely like a 94. Okay. Patrick. I don't know. Powder Toast. I'm not really familiar with Ren and Stimpy either. Stage list. Right now there are only a handful of stages. So this I've actually never seen, the stage list. But there will be 20 in the final game, all themed around the worlds each fighter inhabits. I was hoping to like blow that picture up. Can I do that? No? Okay. It just... There it is. So here's just a screen cap of all the official stages. Not really much to talk about, except for the fact that it's getting close. I'm excited to play it. Is there anything you wanted to talk about in particular? Because you said you mostly just a YouTube channel so you can see who's announced. But I haven't seen a lot of the gameplay. I'm not too interested to dig up a lot of this info, but like once the game comes out, I want to put some time into it. Looks fun. A lot of Smash clone game platform fighters. Let's do platform fighters from now on because they're starting to get more prominent. Before, like, there weren't a lot of platform fighters, so there wasn't a lot to compare to for Smash. Oh, not any that were really like not really balanced, like more so party game, because that's kind of what Smash was originally supposed to be. But there wasn't a lot to compare it to, but now we have stuff like Rivals of Aether. What was Icons Combat? Is that it? Icons Combat Arena. I was really hoping this game was going to be good. There was a lot of like overlap between the Project M scene, and I gave it a lot of time, and it didn't really go anywhere. So like what they did was they stopped supporting the original Icons Combat Arena. They made a finished version so that they could release this form of the game, which I think is a really cool idea. I might be able to pull it up on my Steam list. But I played this game a lot, and I tried to like it, and I did not like it. It ended up not getting any support, but now they're supporting a different version of it. So there's Icons Legacy Edition, which is like the finished release of their original view, and then the team or the IP got bought out, and now they're doing something else with it, and it goes by a different name. Now it's... Maybe I can find it. I hope I can find it. I'll have to play it to get a feel for it. None of the indie plat fighters have really grabbed me. So even if I can't find the name of the new version of Icons, they've implemented a lot of like combat heavy elements to it, and I haven't given it a fair try. But it seems like we're just, as far as presentation goes, we're taking another step back. And like, I'm not willing to keep giving it a try. Like, maybe when the new version of Icons is officially out, I'll try it again. And it's supposed to be free to play. I don't know. I gotta look into it, because it's been a while. I kind of, like, lost interest. But there's been Rivals, there's been Slap City, there's been Icons. Brawlhalla is really big. That's free to play. That has one of the biggest install bases ever. Let's see. I wonder if I can go to that. Steam Brawlhalla install stats. Isn't there like a Steam category that shows like how much it's been downloaded? Let's see. I just want the metadata, and I don't know where to get that. I guess that's for another time as well. But it is, for a fact, one of the, like, most downloaded games. Not that everybody plays it competitively, but, like, it just has a lot of continued additions, updates, content, stuff like that. So, it's nice to see, in this case, that these things are getting a lot more attention. So, you know, I think that's about it, all I have for that. Coming out very soon. Okay, this is before. I was gonna say another trailer. Okay. The Nintendo Direct for 9/23 came out. I just linked a highlights link so that we can just go over, like, the highlights rather than rewatch through the Direct. The Nintendo Direct September 2021, the biggest announcements. New Kirby game, which is exciting. Kirby games, I used to be a really big fan of. The Game Boy Advance ones are really good. I love Kirby Air Ride, but that doesn't really count as one of the platformers. I've heard really good things about the 3DS Kirby games. I heard the Switch one was a little light on content. But, oh, the DS ones especially. Kirby Superstar Ultra, the remake of Kirby Superstar on the DS, that had so much content in it. And the thing about, like, the good Kirby games is they always have content that is difficult. So Kirby's always got this really cool dynamic of, like, appealing, like, the gameplay, like, controlling Kirby is always really easy. So, like, the appeal of playing a Kirby game is for everyone, but the Kirby games that are made really well just have a lot of content packed into them, and even, like, really challenging content. But anyway, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, this is cool because this is Kirby's first 3D game. They've teased, they haven't teased, but they came out with Kirby minigames where he runs in a 3D space, but it was very plain, very simple. So this seems to be taking Kirby and, like, really putting him in, like, a 3D open space. And I am very interested in this. Like, I haven't bought a Kirby game in a while. I think the last ones I bought were the DS ones. And I really want to go back and try the 3DS Kirby Robobot, and I think there's one more after that. But seeing them try something new with Kirby, you know, as simple as, like, transitioning him to 3D, because during the N64 days, like, we had Kirby 64, but even then it didn't really use 3D in the same way that, like, Mario 64 did when it came out. So I'm really excited to play. I mean, I don't know if this had a release date. We'll find out in just a second here. Spring 2022. So that's enough of a time gap where I do want to try this game. It looks good from, like, what I've seen so far. And this is the announcement trailer. So already you can, I mean, like, the environments look really good. The gameplay looks simple and fun, just like you'd expect from Kirby. One of the only new games announced at the Nintendo Direct, and it's taking Kirby into a new genre. Traditionally a 2D hero, Kirby will be able to explore a post-apocalyptic world in 3D. He still devours enemies and possesses their powers, just in a more three-dimensional space. Nintendo Switch Online Plus. This is something worth talking about. Is this the entire direct? I guess they don't have a specific trailer for these. Maybe I can go to the timestamp. What's up with this? Okay, so it's not entirely... So they showed the Kirby game, Mario update. Where can I find... I think I just saw it, Nintendo Online. So, Nintendo Switch Online, since its release, it's never really felt worth my money. They had a really extended free trial of Nintendo Online that they like extended past the initial date where they would start charging, and I never felt it was worth it to pay $20 for like really bare bones online, very little online features. And so I purchased a year, and then I got a year free bundled with something that I did a while ago. I think it was like having a Twitch Prime. I was able to get free Nintendo Online for a year, or at like a really reduced price. But ever since then, it's never been worth it for me to do that. I really like the concept of them adding, like, me personally, so like they could do a couple things. The virtual consoles, what they've done in the past, they sell games individually, and once you buy them, then you own them digitally. But the thing that they've been doing with the Nintendo Switch Online is just providing you like a subscription. So if you have the subscription, you have access to all of the games that they put on Switch Online. Which sounds great, like I like that idea, but the thing is they've slowly been drip feeding. Like they used to consistently add stuff to the platform, but they've stopped like consistently adding, and it's been like less known stuff every time. So it's really, I mean, like if you're not going to keep supporting it, then what's the point of having a subscription, is how I feel about it. I want to make sure I can go back. It's around 21. Okay. So, like, the fact that it's a subscription and they're not really adding things to it, like, you think of more, like, Netflix and Hulu and Disney Plus, like, they're adding and taking away from the service consistently. So you're paying for a subscription, but they're always making sure there's new content available. So that's, in a sense, like, the good thing about the subscription. It being lumped in with Nintendo Online is fine, because again, it's $20 as opposed to the other Xbox and PlayStation $60. So that's literally the only thing that has in its favor, is the cheaper price. But the thing that confuses me about this announcement for the N64 and Genesis is it's being sold on top of as an expansion. They haven't yet talked about the price, but I think regardless, I think anything above $20 is making this service even more of a like complicated choice to make for some people, because it's weird that you're gonna give us NES and Super Nintendo stuff, and then you're gonna like choose to piecemeal the 64 and Genesis. So you're raising the price even more while like adding more of the same, I guess. I mean, the way that what makes sense to me is charging people like maybe $10 a year for just the ability to play online with other people, and then charging whatever you feel you want to charge for every virtual console. It feels weird to pay $10 just to get part of the virtual console library, and then like have to pay more to get different access to different consoles. It's just a weird way to piecemeal a service like this. So I'm really curious to see what the price is, because again, any kind of price hike is bringing it closer to competition to the Xbox and PlayStation online services. So I mean, the same as like buying a Switch in general, right? Like the Nintendo Switch on launch was 300. The PS4 and Xbox One are around 400, and the new consoles are around 500. So, I mean, the price point for the Nintendo Switch was really important because one, it's not trying to be direct competition to Xbox and PlayStation, but if you're selling it for a comparable price, then you're going to run into that issue regardless. Like, why buy, let's say the Switch costs 400 when it came out, like why buy a Nintendo Switch for 400 when you can do $100 extra and just get an Xbox and a PS5? So the competition in the sense of price, it's just, it leads you to that comparison to the other comparable services, you know? And even Xbox and PlayStation have their own form of game subscription services, and those are brand new games. Granted, they pick and choose when and how much they'll do sales, and they'll do downloads that you can have if you're a PlayStation Plus member. And then, of course, there's Xbox Game Pass. How much is... Afternoon, Bigby, how are you? Xbox, let's do price comparisons, because again, that's just like, that's the business. Xbox Game Pass price, because I think that's only $10 a month, if I remember right. Oh, nope, I'm wrong. Subscriptions continue automatically at $14.99 a month. So, okay. I guess the other thing I didn't really cross my mind is that it's Nintendo's is a year, whereas Game Pass is a month, and PlayStation's... So you could be a PlayStation Plus member for $60 a month and get access to free games and games on sale throughout the year. So that's not a bad comparison to make. Like, let's say... I mean, it all depends on how much the extra service is going to cost. If it's like $20 just for 64 and Genesis stuff, I'm thinking like maybe they would do $10. Slightly more than Xbox Gold monthly. If you have Xbox Gold, do they give you access to Game Pass? Yeah, subscriptions for gaming is a really good idea. I'm really behind the idea. It just... When I see Xbox Game Pass compared to Nintendo Online, I don't see the same value because they don't support it as well as they would Xbox. Because again, when they first announced that they'd be doing NES and Super Nintendo games, they were doing a consistent, like every 2 week, dropping a really big SNES game and a really big Nintendo game. And ever since then, they announced officially that it would be inconsistent going forward. And when they do put stuff on there, it's not really stuff that people are interested in. So I don't see in the long term adding 64 and Genesis games for an expanded price being all that worth it. Because what's stopping them from like the first year adding a lot of these games? And then like year 2, year 3, year 4, and year 5, there's just, you don't get anything on those consoles. So it's weird to me. At that point, like I would rather just pay once and have access to a game. You can get Xbox Gold or pay slightly more for Gold and Game Pass. Okay. I mean, that's about it. It's just, I want to know the price, and I would hope that they would continue to support it. And it's really weird that they're like adding on to Nintendo Switch Online's price, because I guess they think they can... I mean, kudos to them, like Nintendo fans, including myself and including Chuck here. If they're gonna ask you to pay more money, if you want it, you are gonna pay the money, and they know that. So like, at the end of the day, like, what do I have to complain about on that front? It's just weird to me the way that they're separating Nintendo Online service, Nintendo Super Nintendo games, separating that from 64 and Genesis. So the company didn't reveal how much this add-on would cost, but did show players what they get in return. This feature will launch by the end of October. The service will launch with 64 classics like Mario 64, Star Fox 64. Nintendo will also sell the controllers. Also, I think it's really funny that there's an official Sega Genesis Nintendo controller. That's an L right there for the Sega Nintendo war back in the 90s. They took a step in the right direction while taking a step back at the same time. I feel that way for sure, yeah. Adding more consoles is great. Even adding, like, Genesis sells their stuff really cheap on the Nintendo eShop. I wonder if I can get access. Can you browse the eShop library on PC? Because Sega already has a lot of their stuff listed on, like, both the 3DS and the Switch. And they sell a lot of their stuff really cheap. Let's type in Sega. Like, you can see right here, this stuff does go on sale, so maybe it's not cheap. I'm not going to say it's cheap. But, like, here's a classic game, here's a classic game. That looks like a classic game. Classic, 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 classic. That's what all of this stuff is. I was going to point them out, but that's everything on this list are classic Sega games. So they already do that, so them adding it to the online service is also interesting. I will say I much prefer paying a small annual fee rather than buying individual games. That's why I don't want to argue against it. Like, I really like the idea of game subscriptions. For a casual video game enjoyer, it's a really good deal. I like the idea of Game Pass and I like the idea of Switch Online in concept, but I don't think they are providing the same type of service, especially the other side of it too, is these are all retro classic games. None of them are brand new. So one, you're getting old games, which is fine because old games are still good. But two, there's no other way to play them. Like, you could track down, you could go to like a, I mean, I guess you could say the same. It's weird for the retro market. I was gonna say you could go to like a thrift store or a yard sale and like pick up an old console and a cheap game and play it. But it's getting harder and harder to play these older games, so I want them accessible first rather than, you know, not at all. So in some form or another, I'm glad that they exist. They have an eShop. A lot of people don't want the hassle of emulating as well. Yeah, because that's not accessible for everybody. Emulation is both in a gray area and it's not accessible for like average game players. Annual fee is fine, I just don't think they should increase the price. The online already has bare bones and wonky, yeah. They announced, what was it, last year? Monster Hunter Rise was the first game, that they were making games with a new online structure from Nintendo, but I haven't really seen the fruits of that labor yet. And it's Nintendo Online, which notoriously hasn't proven its point, so I agree. I as an individual don't think that the service is there. Like, even the $20 online NES Super Nintendo doesn't appeal to me. I don't think that's worth it to pay $20 for that. And just adding a larger price tag for 64 and Genesis games, it just depends what that price tag is. If it's like $5 more, then absolutely, I think that's fine. If it's 10, 15, 20, then it's starting to just be a weird way to separate the price of those two things. I wish they would improve the online functionality. Yeah. Yep, that's the thing. It's just that Nintendo hasn't proven to me that I think their online's worth paying for. Rise runs pretty well online, but it still has hiccups. They even updated older games like Super Mario Party. They updated that, I think 2 years later, and added completely online boards. So that's cool. Again, I haven't been convinced, but you know, I guess they're trying. I don't know. Do we want to talk about the Mario movie? I don't have much to say about it, to be honest. That's just gonna bring up the whole thing too. Let's see. I am not a movie person. Wasn't it the last announcement on here? Oh, woohoo, Bayonetta. Can't wait to talk about that. Here it is. That reminds me, did Beardy see the trailer for Rise PC? I did not. I'll take a look at it if you want to post it in Discord. Besides Rise, though, I don't even bother with Nintendo Online. I would love a world where Mario Kart 8 runs well, but I mean, Mario Kart and Smash are really the only things I would try online for. I don't have much to say about the Mario movie. So I'm not a movie person, so you're not typically gonna get movie opinions from me. But I think it's weird that when adapting a video game to the big screen, every game ever, like every series does everything in their power to like make it something different and like related to the real world. Like the Sonic movie, for example, like I'm not sure why you couldn't just tell a story like let's look at Sonic Colors Ultimate just came out to mixed reviews. Like just tell a Sonic story. Like don't put Sonic in, was it Green Hill Zone, Georgia or something? He was like in America and there was like a real life Dr. Eggman. Like I don't want the intro cutscene, but just make a movie that looks like this, that looks like a video game, and just like, you know, like a CGI Sonic movie that has the budget of the Sonic Unleashed intro. The Sonic Unleashed intro is one of the most gorgeous like pieces of animation from Sonic, and I don't think this compressed makes it look as good as I want it to. Does this look good? Let's go gamer something. But just make an entire game that, you know, uses the budget that they used on this intro trailer and like make a movie that looks inspired and visually fun like a Sonic thing does. Like, I don't know, don't put him in America in some pseudo realistic redesign and make the most generic movie you could possibly make. Like, just use Sonic things and make a Sonic movie. So like when I see all these actors that aren't like that haven't been associated with Mario in any way, like what's the voice actor for Mario? Charles Martinet? He's a cameo appearance. He's not even like Mario. So when I see these like popular actors being cast in a Mario movie, my first thought is it's not gonna look like my first inkling is that if they're gonna make a Mario movie, it's not gonna look like this, but a movie. Like it's gonna look like something that's like not familiar as Mario to me when I look at it. So I mean, I don't have any. Maybe that was a strong opinion. I don't know, but I don't have a lot of like. Either way, I don't care. I don't watch a lot of movies, so video game movies don't bring me to the theaters either. I've seen a couple, like the Silent Hill ones are terrible. The Resident Evil ones are pretty bad. The Sonic one I thought was really bad. So I'm just confused more than anything about this movie. Studio behind Despicable Me, so maybe it'll still look like Mario, who knows? The movie will launch in North America December 21st and includes a stacked voice cast. Chris Pratt will play Mario with Anna Taylor-Joy as Peach, Charlie Day as Luigi, Jack Black as Bowser, Keegan-Michael Key as Toad, Seth Rogen will even appear as Donkey Kong. And Charles Martinet will appear as various cameo roles. Resident Evil movies are bad Resident Evil movies, but decent action movies. Yeah, I don't remember a whole lot about them. I wasn't too interested in them. Yeah, I don't know. One example is, Ratchet and Clank, when that re-release came out. I think they used scenes from the movie and put it in the game. But, like, I know this movie was pretty bland. This is actually one I did see. This was pretty bland, but, like, all I'm saying is just use the art style of, like, the series itself when you're making a movie about it. So, like, just do this, but, like, make it good instead of just make it kind of... I don't remember. I don't want to criticize this movie because, again, I'm not a movie buff, and, like, I just remember it being fine. But, like, just do this, but, like, tell a cool story in the universe of the thing it's based on. So we'll see. Maybe I'm just judging it too much because I haven't seen it yet. But just after seeing things like the Sonic movie, Silent Hill, wasn't there another... I don't know. Started playing 3D World on Switch. Now I want to play it on OLED. It's very soon. Problem with Ratchet and Clank is that Sony decided they were going to compete against Zootopia the same week. Yeah, I mean, this looks gorgeous. Like, I think that the Ratchet and Clank games and this movie both look really good. So I just want to see, like, either a retelling of an old story or, like, a brand new story just in a movie format. Alright, there's my rare movie buff takes. Bayonetta 3. I was not aware that there was even a Ratchet and Clank movie. Yeah, there you go. Moving on. I figured out that there was a couple teases. I'm not familiar with all of Platinum's work, but there's a Wonderful 101 tower. And apparently the Chiba is based off one of their other games. And then that's a Wonderful 101 statue. I don't know about the enemies. Anyway. Finally, some Bayonetta stuff. The movie ties in one of the PS... Yeah, it came out, I think, the same day as the game. But finally, some Bayonetta 3 footage. I really like the... Let's skip ahead. Because I'm not here to do a live reaction. Hopefully we've all seen this. I really like the Bayonetta redesign. This is my favorite design for her so far. I liked Bayonetta 1. Bayonetta 2's design was good, but it was simple. Whereas the first and this design are really extravagant. And I think that's like Bayonetta's whole thing. Bayonetta 1. There's not really too much to talk about. It's more so speculation, and I don't want to do all that. But I'm excited that there's more Bayonetta news. So, like, I really like this Bayonetta design. It's really extravagant, to put it in one word. And Bayonetta 2's design I like, but it doesn't do as much for me. Like, it looks, as far as like the outfit piece is pretty simple, whereas you can see, I don't know. Here's a good side by side. I like the gold trim. Still pissed about the Bayo trailer. They got my hopes up for Astral Chain too. I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's all preference. I think they're good designs. But I really like Bayonetta 3's design here. Bayonetta 3. Not 2, 3. That's not official. Some fan art. That's pretty good. I guess that's all we got. I think that's a really... It's a really... So, like, Bayonetta 1's hair was something that was, like, never been done before. And I think they did the same thing here with 3, where 2, they didn't really do anything with the hair because she cut her hair short. I love that, like, 1, you got the pigtails, but there's also, like, hair design coming from her back and coming down. I don't know, it's just a cool... I wish I had more colorful language for like character design. I'll work on it. But it gives it like more weight, I guess. I think it's just a cool look for Bayo. And I'm sure this game's going to turn out great. Like Bayonetta 1 and Bayonetta 2. Like Bayonetta 2 really did a good job following up after the first game. So I have no kind of second thoughts at all about how this is going to turn out. I'm really excited to play Bayonetta 3. But that's about all I got for that. Again, it was just like an gameplay. Looks cool, looks extra, looks very Bayonetta, looks awesome. 2022. New character. Like, a part of me actually feels like this could be... Like, it's probably a new character, but like maybe they're being tongue-in-cheek about putting like a Dante-esque character in the game that's not Dante but looks like him. Because it's a red backdrop, right? Like, people said it looks more like Virgil because of, I guess, like the hair and maybe the type of sword. But like, I think it would be cool, you know, red coat, red moon, like short white hair. I think it would be cool for them to put a Dante-like character in the game. Looks like a dark coat. Anyway, speculation, right? Splatoon 3 got a new trailer. It's looking good. I'm a big fan of Splatoon. That's probably the only other thing that would convince me to pay for Nintendo Online again. But they don't really change the gameplay up too much in Splatoon, but that doesn't mean it's ever bad. Like, Splatoon gameplay has been so fun. I've had really good time playing through Splatoon 1, Splatoon 2, the single player, the online. So having more of it's great. I just wish they would fix some things. Like, both the games actually had it so there's only 2 or 3 active maps at one time. And the new mode that they put in Splatoon 2 was only ever active during certain moments. So it's weird to introduce a new game mode and say like, hey, you can't play it until you like log back in later in the day. But yeah, Splatoon doesn't seem to change too much between games, and they come out fairly consistently. Let's see Splatoon's release date. I mean, Splatoon's one of their best-selling franchises now. The first game came out 2015. Second game came out 17, so that's 2 years. This comes out... No release date? No release date yet. But yeah, I mean, as far as like a multiplayer focused game is concerned, I like that they're doing these fairly quick updates. Like, they just become more content rather than like full-on sequels. However, they do all have their own single player, so there's a lot of good stuff in Splatoon, and I'm happy with, you know, how it's been. Monster Hunter Rise is getting an expansion. Summer 2022. Yeah, we'll see. It looks like they're gonna... I don't know, I was gonna say it looks like they're gonna take their time with it, but they do good with Splatoon, as far as the first and second are concerned. Monster Hunter Rise is getting a new expansion. Summer of 2022, Sunbreak. Nintendo called the expansion massive, and it'll include new monsters, locales, hunting actions, and quest ranks. It's paid DLC similar to the Iceborne expansion. I don't think I looked through... Oh yeah, I did see this. They didn't show a whole lot. They showed, like, an actual dragon. I don't think I've seen a dragon monster. Looks cool. Again, not too much to really talk about. Chocobo, we talked about this a bit in the Discord. So, you gotta refresh my memory, Big B. I think one of them, the Mystery Dungeon, was a remake, but this GP one is brand new. Because this was a PSP game, or not PSP, a PS1 game, and it looks like they're trying again to make a modern version of it. So I'm interested to see how this will do. I don't know if there's a release date, but kart racers, there's getting to be a lot more variety for kart racers too. Crash Nitro Kart came out, Sonic All Stars Racing, we got this, probably some other stuff. But it looks fun, looks casual, looks curious how much this is going to reference, because it looks like a lot of classic Final Fantasy imagery, I guess. Coming 2022. Final Fantasy is getting a 2000s era kart racer. That's okay, so the original was a PS1 that came out around then. Players can skate around as Chocobo, customize their own kart, race against opponents. Nintendo Switch exclusive, launches 2022. Castlevania fans will be able to replay the series' classic handheld games. Castlevania Advanced Collection, which launched Thursday night. Players will be able to rewind, quick save. This is great. I'm happy that they're expanding the collections. The only thing... Oh, we gotta find it. This actually doesn't... The thing that website that I picked doesn't have all the announcements, just select ones. Triangle strategy. Here's what we'll do. Is this its own article? So I want to get into playing a lot more Castlevania games. As far as like the Metroidvania ones go, I've only played Symphony of the Night. I played Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, and that was a great game. But I haven't really gotten to... So they originally... I'm glad you said something for a triangle strategy. They said it was a work in progress name for their title. And then this trailer comes out, and it doesn't say anything about that. It makes it sound like that's the final name. So like maybe they stuck with that? In which case is a really weird thing to do. I mean, even Octopath Traveler, if I'm going to compare those two games, had like Octo 8, Traveler, but it didn't really tell you anything about the story. But Triangle Strategy doesn't tell me a single thing about the story and what it might be about. So that's weird. Did the same thing for Octopath, Project Octopath, yeah. Yeah, so I thought like they would come up with another name, but they didn't do anything in that trailer to really like hint at the fact that it might change. I want a visual thing, because I don't know what these Castlevania games look like. Is this what I want? This is what I want. I'm not familiar with any of these games, but I know at least one of the ones on the Game Boy Advance are really good. I like that all these Castlevania games are getting re-released, but they're doing... I mean, it is Konami. I was gonna say, I mean, like, I have a right to complain whether or not it matters. They're splitting up a lot of these collections. Like, there was one collection that specifically had Rondo of Blood and Symphony of the Night. There was one collection that had the first 3 Castlevania games, 3 or 4. And now they're doing another separate one that just has the Game Boy Advance ones. So, like, are they going to do another one that just has DS ones? I guess it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, they're still getting re-released in an accessible format. And, like, who cares? Like, people have done plenty of re-releases where they sell them individually. So it's not a huge deal. I've been waiting. They've been re-releasing some of these collections physically for a limited run, and while I've been skipping them, maybe it's something that I can look into getting at some point. ActRaiser. Ooh, this is an interesting thing to talk about. I want to look at the graphics of this, Because I saw a screenshot after the fact watching this. I just bought ActRaiser last month on Super Nintendo. Let's do a trailer. So I think it's funny that now they're like re-releasing a definitive version of the game. But I'm curious to see. I didn't really look at how the art style looked when I was looking at this for the first time. But this is an odd... It's not an odd thing. I guess it's a cult classic game. So it's cool that something that... I can't expect this to sell very well, but I'm glad that they're doing this. Let's look at the gameplay. Can I see some gameplay? Can I have just a scrap of gameplay? Sadly, I've heard bad things. Oh boy. See, it looks really pixelated when I saw this posted secondhand. It looks like they're trying to do, back in the Super Nintendo days, what do they call it with Donkey Kong Country? It looks like they're taking a sprite and compressing it, which they don't need to compress it because this is a modern title. Look at that. That does look bad. It looks like it's from Donkey Kong Country, which is fine if it's a Super Nintendo game, but like, not now. I don't know what to think now. Some of the larger sprites look fine, and like this concept art looks good. But like in-game, it doesn't look great. So, I mean, if I'm to play this game, maybe I'll do the... I like that it has a swap between different soundtracks. It doesn't look like it could be bad. It's something that I'd probably have to play and judge. Like, it doesn't look bad. It looks like it could be the best way to play this game still. And it has new content. So, like, I'm not completely turned away by it. But they could have made certain parts of it look cleaner. Unless it's just like a, this is not the final version of the game type thing where they're gonna, like, up-res some stuff. But it'd be weird for them to work on it and not just make the best sprites that they have, I guess. Yeah, that... It looks like a Game Boy Advance game also. That's what I'm getting from the character model. Do you feel that way? Ugh. And like how early CD games made their like pixels look. It doesn't look great. But the environments, let me look at the environments. The environments look fine. They look detailed. I think, yeah. We'll see. Was there a release date for this? Available now. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. It's already out. Like the dislikes and the positive. Let's see. Sincerely hope that... So that means that this can't be early footage. It probably just looks like that. I don't see anything negative, really. I can't imagine this is going to sell well. It's like a really niche thing to remake, but I'm glad it exists. I hope it's like the best version you can do. Lastly, if there's anything that I missed in this Nintendo Direct I didn't talk about you want to go over, I can scroll through the big thing. I thought this link would have everything in it, but it does not. This was just... One of my favorite places in Animal Crossing is the coffee shop, the Roost is what it... Yeah, the Roost. So I'm glad it's finally in the game. I'm glad that they're continuing to update Animal Crossing. From what I've seen, they added a lot of fluff to make the game last longer. Oh no. First area usually takes under an hour, and now it's over 2 hours long. I hope a YouTuber does like an in-depth analysis of the different versions. Because I'm really curious. That's a game that I eventually wanted to play. And again, before this new version was announced, I just recently bought a copy for Super Nintendo. But this is just an announcement for an announcement. Like, There's a Animal Crossing Direct airing in October. So not too much there. New Pokemon Arceus gameplay trailer. Oh, hold on. Let's not skip. That sucks. Like, if they added new content for ActRaiser, then that would be fine. But if they, like, rebalanced it to make it grindier, then that's just weird. I wonder if that's how it'd be. So, Pokemon Legends Arceus. Let's talk about that. I still think it looks pretty good for what it's supposed to be. Every new trailer has me more so convinced that it'll turn out well. I really like the idea, just the core concept of it, like open world, you're interacting with Pokemon in order to ride them, to surf, to fly, just to get around faster with the Stantler. I talked a little bit with a friend of mine, and they should not have released that first trailer when they did, because it did not look ready to be shown off. Maybe I can pull it up. Found somebody to do the comparison. Okay. We'll take a look at that. I'm gonna add that to... We're gonna put it down here, Big B, and we'll go over that. What was I saying? So I love the core concept, but so when I talked to my friend, we talked about how Pokemon is like one of the top 3 biggest grossing IPs of all time, and how these games have to come out on a schedule because of things like games, movies, anime, toys, cards, things like that. So Pokemon, for me, modern day Pokemon has always had a mixed track record. And I'm wondering if a game like this had the same kind of strict scheduling. I'm really curious what the final product is going to look like, and if it feels rushed in any way or not. Because again, even with the Diamond and Pearl remakes, they just contracted that to another team so they could release that, I guess, on some to keep it released on a schedule. Sword and Shield felt rushed. If you want my take again, I think Sword and Shield's one of the worst. Not one of the. I think it is the worst Pokemon game I've ever played. I did not like it. It felt rushed in a lot of aspects. So, again, modern Pokemon's always been kind of mixed for me. And I want to see this game be the best it can be. And I'm still curious about it until it comes out. And it comes out in January 28th. So we got a couple months away. In my opinion, they should have delayed the game to work on it more. We don't need a Pokemon game in January when Diamond and Pearl comes out in November. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, with every new trailer for Pokemon Arceus, it does look good. I am not going to be convinced that it is good until it's like out and everybody's playing it. But I mean, let's do that. Let's look up the very first Pokemon Arceus trailer. Seven months ago.
This is a tale from a...
This does not look like it was ready to be shown off when they show gameplay for this. The resolution looks really crunchy on everything, including these close-ups. The frame rate on these Pokemon, really, really slow. The performance of this, like, in particular, like, let me slow it down. Let's do half speed. like you can see just how pixelated it is. It doesn't look clear at all. The shinks in the background are a really, really, really low frame rate. So while I think the punch of announcing like an open world Pokemon game is a really good thing, this game, like, look at those, like, if you want to say look at the trees and complain about the Sword and Shield trees, like, look at how pixelated that is in the background. This just does not look like something that is presentable in its current state. It just looks like... And this, like, look at that. I hate to tear it apart this, like, closely, but it's good, because when you drop that, when you come to this trailer that was released on the 28th, it looks a lot better. It looks good. It looks good visually. Like, you can see how much cleaner the game looks, both these models, both these backgrounds. It does look like they've been actively working on it. It just, the reason I pointed out is because I'm assuming maybe this game is on that same kind of schedule that all other Pokemon games are on, and they had to announce it that day, and they had to put something together to, like, announce the game. So, again, while it does look good, I'm not holding my breath, and it doesn't seem like it's anything I'd be interested in, story-wise, because I do like a lot of Pokemon stories, but a lot of other Pokemon stories just seem very, like, generic, is, like, the only way I can put it. I love Pokemon Gen 5, that's my favorite Pokemon Gen, because its characters and its story are so interesting. And Pokemon Sun and Moon, I think, is the most underrated generation, because the characters and the story in those games are so interesting and good. Yeah, so it looks good gameplay-wise, but it, for me, just for my preferences, this doesn't have anything to do with critiquing the game. For my preferences, I don't think it's going to be an interesting story. I think it's something I'd rather watch other people play. And in some alternate universe, if this game drops in price or goes on sale, like, you know, maybe I'll check it out a couple years from now, but I would rather stick to the mainline games, I guess. But I do think it's good, like, how much progress it looks like they made. Let's talk about Final Fantasy Strangers of Paradise. Have we all seen that meme that's going around? Or do I need to pull it up again? Because I got a good one. Boy, let me tell you. There's no easier way to get me to laugh than with a reverb fart.
Bullshit.
Oh, this isn't even that one. There's a lot of memes now. That was a good one. Is this the one that this is mine. This is the one that I liked.
Bullshit.
There it is. Yep. Apparently for Diamond and Pearl, they released a bunch of info on their website that they just never announced in a direct. Instead of HMs, you can call Wild... What? Can you link me that? Because the Diamond and Pearl trailer... Alright, let's wait on this. We're not done yet. Pokemon Diamond. Because I saw that in the top corner... They showed this, hidden moves. It says use hidden moves. It doesn't say that it replaces HMs. Because Gen 3 and Gen 4 are one of the most egregious when it comes to needing HMs. So if this menu at the top right corner is unrelated to the Pokemon you have in your party, then that's fantastic. That already, like, sells the game for me. I was really afraid that they would keep HMs in some form. When we've already, you know, it took until Pokemon Sun and Moon in order to get rid of HMs. Alright, let's see here. More information on Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. You can now play with up to 6 Pokemon at once in Amity Square. Once you have visited the square, you have the ability to have your Pokemon walk alongside you. Awesome change. You can only have one follow you, that's fine. Different Pokemon move and act differently. Your Pokemon will react and respond in all sorts of ways when you talk to them. The Poketch allows you to call wild Pokemon to help you out. They'll use hidden moves like Cut, kind of like Ride Pokemon. That's big. They should have made that more clear in the trailer, because that's one of the big additions you want from a Pokemon remake is, you know, the removal of HMs. Pokemon Arceus. Some Pokemon appear only during a particular time or weather. You can find Pokemon in unexpected locations. Sometimes you'll run into Pokemon Alphas. Trainer battles are in the game. Trainers are rare. Most of them are Wardens. During your adventure, you will receive a Celestica Flute. Ride Pokemon. Early in the game, you'll get an Arc Phone. Hold up to 6 Pokemon. Cleaver is an evolution of Scyther, which I didn't know until yesterday also. I was fine with HMs either way, but I know that was a make or break. I just think it's a simple quality of life addition to get rid of HMs. It doesn't make sense to me. Let's see. Generation 4. I think this 3 and 4 are the ones I want to look at. The Sinnoh generation of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 HMs. Generation 3's Hoenn, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's just a lot that really, like, and none of them are viable moves other than like Surf and Waterfall. Cut's not good, Fly's not good, Surf is good, Strength is not, Whirlpool's not, Rock Smash is not, Waterfall is, Rock Climb is not. And then there's things like Defog as well. So it just makes sense to me that, like, you want to get rid of HMs if you're remaking a Pokemon game. I don't think it should have taken 20 years. I think by the time, like, Gen 3 or 4 happened, they should have found a way to do it like they are in this remake for Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. Alright. So I actually got to play both demos for Strangers of Paradise. I can't say I'm extremely interested in the concept, but I think these demos have done a really good job showing off what kind of game this is supposed to be. The very first demo for this had you go through the one dungeon and then fight Garland and then it was over. And the trailer in this has you do that same dungeon again, fight Garland, and now there's a second area. So I got to play through the first area and part of the second area. And it seems to take place within the very first Final Fantasy, adding to it. I think that's the pirate that's in like the second town. So like they're doing a lot of stuff with the first Final Fantasy game. Anyway, the combat's really interesting. The characters and story, in the demo anyway, they don't have any kind of like background to give you. So like I don't really know what's going on with any of these characters. Jack in particular, the main character you play as, is interesting. Memes aside. I don't know what these characters' origins are. Like I haven't done my research with this game. I think the thing that I have experience to talk about is just the gameplay. The gameplay is pretty unforgiving, which is cool. The combat's really difficult, and the really unique aspect of this game is that there are pretty much 2 health bars. You have your traditional health bar, and then you have a stagger meter. And when you deplete an enemy stagger meter, then you're able to instantly KO them and get like magic benefits back. And you have your own meter, so you can block like a traditional block in another game. And then you have a parry, which when you hold the parry, it consumes your stagger meter. So you're constantly managing your health and you're constantly managing your stagger meter. And it's a really cool dynamic. Yeah, that if you put it really simplistically, then yeah, it is Final Fantasy's take on Dark Souls. I haven't played a lot of Dark Souls games. I played a little bit of the first and a little bit of the third, and I couldn't get into them. I don't think these demos didn't convince me to make the purchase just because I'm not into those kind of games. But it was fun being able to play a demo and talk about it, because there are things that make this unique, and a lot of its RPG systems are one of those things, and its parry system and stagger system is another thing that makes it unique. So while the focus is like really tough Dark Souls-ish combat and progression, I think that there's enough Final Fantasy flavor to it to like make it stand out. But the gameplay's cool. I just have no idea what to make of the story. Literally no idea. I'm not the person to ask. The other thing I noticed was the performance was really bad in the second demo. It's supposed to be 30 frames, and there were a lot of moments where those 30 frames were dropping, and it was pretty consistent in some areas. So I hope they work on the performance. I don't really have anything to say about the combat because I did enjoy it. That's about it. I just got a little taste of the demo. I figured I'd put it here because I played it and because I did enjoy the gameplay. It's just a different take on the very first Final Fantasy. And Jack's also an interesting character. I'll just use the word interesting. Monster Hunter Rise. Okay, so this is the PC. I can see it in glorious 4K, but you guys will just be seeing it in glorious 1080p. So sorry about that. That does look beautiful. Monster Hunter Rise does have a good, like, I'm used to Monster Hunter on the 3DS, which was bogged down by, like, 480p, I think was what the screen was. Monster Hunter World takes a more realistic approach, and Monster Hunter Rise seems to have a really strong art style, both with its color, its, like, traditional Japanese theming, with the towns and stuff, and it has a much stronger use of color than Monster Hunter World does. So seeing this in like 4K 60 frames like looks gorgeous. Capcom's making a poll to see if people want to have the PC and Switch version be crossplay, cross-save. That'd be great. I don't see why not. I guess it's just they want to gauge the interest first. But I assume it's safe to say that the Switch version does run really well. It's just, I'm assuming 30 frames and 1080p. So that's cool. I hope they do go with cross-play and cross-save, because those are both really good features to have. Miss TGS. What is this? What is TGS? Oh, Tokyo Game Show. Okay. We talked about this game. Forspoken looks cool. Triangle Strategy was shown again. The Yoko Taro card game looks kind of interesting. Life is Strange. That looks like a good game. I really like what they did with the... I guess they did mocap in the Life is Strange art style. And it looks really good. Guardians of the Galaxy. What is this? Is there anything you wanted to talk about in particular here? Final Fantasy, one of those. I think this is the Battle Royale, right? Or is something. Yeah, this is the Battle Royale. No interest in that. Chocobo Crawl. I thought this was supposed to be a Switch exclusive. I guess they're okay, they're just showing it again. And then the Stranger's Paradise. So a lot of the same stuff. Yep. Alright, now we covered it. Just Monster Hunter, which you went over. And lastly, kind of hyped for Chocobo Racing. Yeah, it looks cool. I would love to try it out. ActRaiser Renaissance review. Don't play on hard mode. I almost clicked on spoilers. What do I, is that where I get the info? 'Cause I don't want to spoil it for everyone or myself, because I do want to try it. But that looks like the whole article. The review is the spoiler. Okay, spoiler warning, I'm gonna click it just in case. Okay, I see. There we go. I don't use Reddit that much. I didn't know you could pop it out as text. I thought it was a picture. I love the original ActRaiser on SNES and played through it a few times. With difficulty settings now included, I figured I might as well give myself more of a challenge compared to the original. I think hard mode doesn't apply to the city building phase of the game. I'm not sure if it applies to tower defense. Key changes. So this is specifically with hard mode. Overall. So let's check it out. I just want to clarify. This person seems to be talking about hard mode when we talk about this. So far I played through the entirety on hard mode and blood pool on normal mode. Now on the things are okay, no, this is everything. Okay. There are more attacks, which is good. They have some invincibility frames. Up attack is particularly spammable. Spells have some pretty bad end lag. So this is changes from the original. So they have to be used cautiously. You can change spells mid-battle, which is nice. Also, rather than having a limited number of spell uses, the game uses an MP bar. Each battle stage has 3 scrolls. I think it was after the first battle, a temporary experience level up system is introduced. Killing enemies, smashing boulders, crates gives you crystals. I think hard mode requires more crystals to level up, so it's harder, maybe impossible to reach max power. They took some liberties, it's not a one-to-one remake. The stages seem a little longer and may contain branching paths. Kinda sucks because you never know which way is the right way and which path the path developers thought players are less likely to choose, and thusly is the path that has max MP scrolls. Camera feels very much like a SNES game. Master's voice. City building hindered by RNG. In the original, your SP would restore itself every time the hourglass ran out, so you'd always be able to perform more miracles after a short wait. In the remake, there's no default MP regeneration. You have to wait for your people to produce MP potions. I'm skimming this because I still haven't played either version, so I don't know what everything means. Sadly, when the layers are sealed and your civilization reaches max level, you'll have to rely on RNG potions. Monster layers. The people no longer seal monster layers on their own. Tutorial. The game is now very tutorial heavy at the start. It's a lot more bearable when you make it to Blood Pool, but I still feel the original game is the clear winner when it comes to gameplay flow. Ironically, they don't give you a tutorial for building a blockhouse, which is one of the quests you have to do in Fillmore. When I saw the detailed illustration of Fillmore's leaders, my immediate thought was, this is nice, I wonder if the next towns will use the same illustrations. The game is very dialogue heavy compared to the original. Stories are appropriately fleshed out to better represent the original game was going for. Characters use sort of old-timey speech. Overall, the game has better pacing. It's a lot better to figure out the game on your own without being bombarded with tutorials. Okay, the original game has better pacing. It's a lot better to figure out in the original. Remake has better lore storytelling. Combat is improved, especially with the new spell selection feature. Abusing invincibility frames is an important part of surviving. One new city region. So there's new content, old stuff that's been changed. If you've enjoyed the original game without paying for it, I always used to borrow it from a friend. Or if you really like ActRaiser, I say go ahead and buy this. If you're new to the game, it's a little bit of a tougher sell since I don't know if you would have even liked the original ActRaiser. Renaissance bites off a bit more than it can chew. So it does seem mixed from this person's review. Game is suitable for people who enjoy... Okay, that's general. I wouldn't feel right rating it out of 10 unless I beat it. I don't regret buying it for 40. So, okay. So I'll look into it a little bit more on my own, but it does seem kind of mixed. Alright. I think that'll do it for the gaming news. So, as always, link to the Discord will be here. And when I upload this to YouTube, it'll be in the description. If you have anything you want to post, go ahead and put it in this tab, and I'll go over it every Saturday. So yesterday, I was trying to like GameFAQs my way into figuring out how to unlock the last track. And surprisingly, the internet seemed to fail me in how to figure out how to unlock. So I just unlocked Master Mode, right? In order to unlock the AX Cup, I have to beat... Wait, is that... It still shows my stars here. That's interesting. So, from what I've looked up, I need to beat every cup on Master. And I'm not sure... F0 AX Cup unlock. Beat all the GP cups on Master difficulty, and the AX tracks from the arcade game will become available for purchase. And then you have to buy them too. If you beat the ladder, let's see. Buy them all to unlock the 5th and final AX Cup. If you beat the ladder, you'll unlock the AX Mute City Sonic Oval track. 26th and last track in the game. So, I was able to do this on Expert. I have no idea if I'm ready to do this on Master, so we will find out. There's a total of 26 GP tracks in F-Zero, 15 which are open from the start. There are 4 different difficulty levels, 3 available from the start. When you beat one of them, you'll receive tickets as well as rewards. Beat all 3 cups on Standard or Expert, and a 4th Diamond Cup is unlocked. Beating the first 3 cups on Expert also unlocks Master. The difference between difficulty levels is that the AI are much more aggressive and the enemy crafts faster. Beat all the GP cups on Master difficulty and the AX tracks from the arcade game will become available for purchase. Beat all the GP cups on Master difficulty and all the AX tracks will become available for purchase. Buy them all to unlock the 5th and final cup. AX Cup. If you beat the ladder, you'll unlock the AX. That's a lot. I think I got it. I need to beat all 4 of these on Master. And that's going to be one of the biggest challenges I've ever had to undertake. So, without further ado. Master Class. Oh, I remembered my color. I'm not ready. I don't feel ready at all. It says they're more aggressive and they're faster. I'm just waiting for them to immediately target me. I can see them spinning already. Maybe I'll be fine. Oh, jeez. Oh, God. It's gonna look a lot more like bumper cars than anything else. Alright, I know there is... I can just boost until I get here. Oh, jeez. This car loses its traction very quickly. I think I can just boost until I win. Until I win! Or until I get third place. What I'm hoping is that, like, the first and second people aren't always first and second. So if I get third every time, then I'll still be first overall. That's the goal. That's the dream. So third place I can handle. But I gotta masterclass these tracks, which is gonna take a little while. It also seems like I gotta masterclass the Diamond Cup. And I just have trouble staying alive on the Diamond Cup. Jeez, you people. Just let me live. I can't imagine how tough this is going to be for Diamond Cup, because there's barely any walls keeping you on the track. Not only that, but sometimes you'll just get sent off the track just because you're going too fast. I learned my lesson last time for that. Ooh, not good, not good. Alright. Ooh, this is good. Oh. Oh, why'd I gotta bump into a wall? I was doing so well. Still doing well. I'm thinking this cup will be fine. I'll be over this before I know it. Once I get to every single other one, then we're gonna have some problems. I'm gonna try to do the first two today. And I'm wondering if I have to do it in one go, because I know you have to purchase the tracks. Buy them all to unlock the 5th and final cup, the AX Cup. I'm not sure how they do the cups then, because there's an extra oval track. Excuse me, sir. I really want to play those AX tracks again. I was able to find a physical AX cabinet at MagFest. One of the greatest experiences was riding in that chair. There's a swivel chair that matches these tracks, depending on like what angle you're at. Alright, I need to get ahead. Ooh, okay. I think that's the only healing pad. Oh no. maybe I'll get another third place. Alright, let's wait here. Right here is... Whoa! Okay. Alright, we're looking good. Oh no! Oh, I thought this was the last turn. It's this. This was a bad idea. Okay, third place. This is good. Where does that put me in the standing? First, baby! And then, if I finish this, there's even more to do if I want. Because there's other racers I can unlock by doing the story missions again. Which is probably where I'm going to have to get some more tickets. This is real hardware. I bought a HDMI converter for GameCube that just hooks right into the back. I also have this device called the M Classic, which like post-process smooths part of the image. And it has mixed results, but it's really good for the GameCube. And F-Zero just naturally supports widescreen, which makes this game look amazing. It's just an overall good-looking game. So believe it or not, this is what peak GameCube performance looks like. Alright, there's supposed to be... I think it's the left side that has healing. That was a mistake. No, this side. I think it's one each. But we're just going entirely too fast for me to get both. I shouldn't have done that. I don't think there's another place to heal here. Yeah, everything about this game looks amazing. Oh, I'm losing my places. That's a bad turn. Whoa! Wow, I did not hit a wall. That's impressive. And then this is how I get my victory. I think this is the last turn coming up. Alright, fourth. I was hoping to get that third, but he snuck in there. Yeah, and especially in stylized games, I did Paper Mario under the same video output. And because that game has such a, like, prominent art style, the smoother of the M Classic looks really nice. What I'm afraid of is I think I have to do the AX Master all in one go. I have to look into it more. Because I don't think if you purchase them, I don't think they stay in the store if you still need to purchase them. If I streamed Melee, it would be Dolphin, and that I can make look nice within the emulator. But I see where you're getting at, and I hate it. Because I don't want to stream Melee. I still haven't practiced. I need to play. It's very unlike me to not play Melee for so long. Am I already in front? Ooh, that's an awkward look. Oh no. Alright, gonna back up. And then there should be a healing pad here. And I'm throwing. Oh, jeez. They are aggressive. That's some sick air. I think I need a redo. I can do it. Alright, this is a strategical redo. I'll let you know what I'm doing later. You should see the speedruns for this game. They're insane. There's a, like, side attack that I just did there that I shouldn't be doing now on mass. That's not strategic. This is just... This is the all-natural retry. This is the grass-fed, free-range retire. Do you get less retries in master mode? I didn't know that. I shouldn't have done the strategic retry. Now I gotta look when I start how many there is. Oh boy. Usually they gave me 3 in expert, so maybe there's 2? I would love to practice my F-Zero competitive skills. You only have that. You get 1 retry and that's it. That makes me really scared for the future cups that I have to do. Just staying alive. I can't even make some of these jumps. And I can just spam this. I said this was going to be over before I knew it. We're good. No need to panic. I mean, if I start this in first place, that's better than what I did before. Dude, I've been looking at one of the Hot Wheels games for PC that I used to play. I still have my disc, but I don't think that's good to me anymore. The point is, I think they, like, rebooted it, or, like, I don't even know if it's just a reboot, just, like, a new Hot Wheels game. and you can make whatever tracks you want. That's something I want to play again. Because I'm so glad I didn't just get knocked off the entire track. That Hot Wheels game was something I put a lot of time into. This game does this weird thing where if you get knocked off the track, then it won't reset you if you land in an awkward way. And that was definitely an awkward landing. These walls hurt so bad. Oh no! Okay, I'll take second. I don't think any of them boost as much as they should at the very last stretch. I just cheesed a lot of good places at the end. The Lego racing games that a lot of people played growing up, I never got a chance. I do own them now. But I've only ever played that Hot Wheels game for PC. If I can look it up. Hot Wheels Stunt Track. And then there was a sequel to Stunt Track that I always wanted to play too. And avoiding the other racers is just as much of a chore. Nice tight turn. Too tight. Alright, we're leading right at the beginning of the lap. Yeah, I gotta watch that drift. This is a good time to boost. This would be, but I'm all about self-preservation right now. I just gotta save my boost for the end, and I think I'll be fine. And then a straightaway. Nice. Clean. My brother is a car guy, so we always played Need for Speed, Burnout, Forza. Yeah, I got introduced. That's right, I did get introduced to those games through other people growing up. Trackmania is the shit. I just googled if this game has netplay, and it actually does. Yes, it should. I think anything you can connect with netplay. It's just some things are optimized better for netplay, like Mario Party and Melee. Well, like anything you can try. I've done Sonic Adventure 2 Battle netplay before, but it did crash a couple times. I can do the boost pad, right? I'm good for it. This track's a lot longer than I expect. Oh no. Oh no. That was way too risky. Yeah, these guys are no joke. I'm just gonna boost. Maybe no more times. I don't think I can get away with it. Oh, I did that too early. It's this turn that has the healing pad. Alright, let's see if I can sneak in some places at the end here. I keep boosting and just bumping right into somebody. Oh no. That's all the juice I got. Not great. Yeah, for a while the puppy won't be allowed down here because there's a lot of expensive stuff in here. Probably for like the first year. This computer right here, everything out in my collection, it's my life's work. It can't be a puppy's chew toy. I won't let that happen. Man, that's such an awkward turn if you don't take the jump. Oh, that was... Oh, we recovered. I'm like, as soon as I made that turn, I'm like, yeah, wrong move. No! That was a bad time to boost. Man, I keep getting bumped into some weird spots. I think we're good. I think I can make it. Oh, I can't believe I hit that. That's good news. Hmm. Ooh, okay, okay. You could say I mastered that turn. I think I got this. Oh no. Oh, no. Ah, I didn't even get 4th place! Oh, I didn't see what place I had. 1st place, right? I got 1st today a couple times. I got 1st place right now. Yeah, overall I got 1st place. I don't have to do better than I don't have to do better than a single person. I have to do better than everybody because their scores average out. So I think I can get like the first 5 places every race and be fine. I think I might have even gotten 10th place in this series. Can we see your face? You've earned a rest. What's up with the owl? I want to see his defending justice all good.
Are there any negative aspects to being a defender of justice?
The wages are really low.
I see. Thank you for the
You hear that?
And that's all for adrenaline-driven F-Zero TV.
Pay your superheroes more.
We'll see you at the next Grand Prix.
So what is, does this get me an extra star? Does this get me anything? Gets me staff credits. 40 tickets. I don't know if there's a... I think there's only 2 superheroes in this universe. It's him and it's his wife. Well, let's check the Grand Prix thing and see if I got an extra star, because that's what I think I'm looking for. The 4 stars. Okay, so I want to get 4 on all of these, and then I get the AX Cups. Thanks for watching the video. If you want to see more like it, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. I also stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/RyanBeardy. Follow me on Twitter at RyanBeardy, and I have a Discord with the links below.